Bonsoir tout le monde, bonsoir, bienvenue à cette 15e édition, cette 15e épisode de On en jase avec G2B. Ce soir, Patrick et moi, on va accueillir, vous l'avez vu dans l'introduction, on va accueillir Tim Mack. Ça va être toute une soirée, mesdames, messieurs, et je sens qu'on va avoir plusieurs surprises. Hello everyone and welcome to Episode 15 of On en jase avec G2B, chit-chatting with G2B. Tonight, Patrick and I have the pleasure to discuss with none other than Tim Mack. You know this, you saw the video yesterday and you saw also the introduction with the Mack truck, Mack Attack. So I'm going to be joined with Patrick right now. On va accueillir Patrick à l'instant. Bonsoir Patrick.
Salut Guillaume, ça va?
Ça va extrêmement bien. Patrick, on va avoir une méchante belle soirée. On a un invité de marque, un des meilleurs joueurs amateurs que le sport des quilles a pu connaître.
C'est pas rien, Guillaume. Et à voir le 3 minutes qu'on a passé avant lui, vous avez affaire à être en forme. Parce que
oui.
lui is on fire.
Exactement. So, Patrick, we have the honor to talk with Tim Mack, one of the best, if not the best amateur bowler in the world that we have seen. So it's a real privilege. And just before we welcome Tim Mack, we want to remind you that if you want to buy anything at bufabowling.com, you can use the promo code G2B with capital letters. I'm going to put that somewhere during the stream, and it's coming right here, okay? So if you want to buy anything at shop.bufabowling.com, you can use the promo code. You can buy this beautiful t-shirt that Patrick is wearing at this very right moment, and you can buy bowling balls, shoes, bowling bags, equipment, name it, 10% off on everything you order. Patrick, dis-nous ça en français pour nos auditeurs.
Exactement. Comme Guillaume le disait, on profite de l'occasion simplement de l'opportunité que les gens ont en utilisant le code promo G2B en lettres majuscules, d'aller sur le site shop.bufabowling pour avoir un 10% de rabais sur tout. Évidemment, il y a les chandails G2B, il y a les chandails Buffa Vintage comme celui que je porte présentement, mais tout s'applique à boules, sacs, équipements, accessoires, peu importe ce qui passerait, tout ce que vous avez envie de mettre dans votre maison, puis pas en parler à personne. Vous l'achetez, le rabais, le shipping, tout va s'appliquer sur votre facture. Donc, c'est génial à ce niveau-là. Guillaume, un petit 2 minutes avant qu'on commence ça et qu'on accueille Tim, j'aimerais ça aussi prendre un petit 20 secondes. On voit beaucoup dernièrement l'Association des propriétaires de salons de quilles du Québec qui sont clairement en train de créer quelque chose d'important. Un mouvement est en train de se créer. Guillaume, je pense qu'on ne peut rien dire d'autre qu'on est avec vous, continuez de travailler fort, puis espérons que tout ça pourra donner les résultats escomptés.
Absolument, Patrick. So just before, also one other thing that we need to mention is we are behind the APSQQ, the Bowling Proprietors Association of the Province of Quebec. They are doing a fantastic job right now to help the proprietors to reopen their doors. Our province is still in full lockdown for bowling, so it's a little bit discouraging. But with Bobby Wilkie and his crew, the Ruel-Lajoie brothers, and also Guillaume Simoneau, we are hoping the best for the proprietors in the next coming weeks. Patrick, it's time to welcome none other than Mack Attack, Tim Mack. Hi, Tim.
Hey, boys, how we doing? Huey and Patrick, thanks for having me on. Always a pleasure to be fortunate to talk on these shows, and anything that's affiliated with Buffa, my good friends, Frank Buffa and Mark Buffa, and you guys, what you're doing up there, it's it's a pleasure. Both of those gentlemen are very good friends of mine, and they do so many great things for bowling and bowlers. Not only in Canada, but all around the world. So I salute you guys. Nice to see you guys.
Thank you, Tim. Definitely, you're right on every point. I would like to thank you before we start a couple of questions because Definitely, for me, that's a real pleasure, Guillaume. I will let you talk for the introduction because I think it's the first time you had chance to talk each other since last year. But Guillaume also have some souvenir from U.S. Open last year.
Ah, okay, yeah, it was, yeah.
Yes, absolutely, Tim. So we first met like now it's 11 years ago, and it was in Germany.
Yeah, on the
We
bus.
took a pic.
Remember on the bus? On the
Yes,
bus?
exactly.
Yeah,
We took a picture together, and I was so surprised that last year during the U.S. Open, you remembered me and you remembered the bus, you remembered the picture, and
Yeah.
you know this moment lasts for maybe 10 seconds. I don't know. So it was really great to know that. I mean, you were kind of starstruck by meeting the Magnets back in the days.
Yeah, I met you and I went, oh, there he is, Gilliam. And I knew that you were a southpaw lefty. I remembered you were a lefty, a superstar lefty. You know,
That's
guy with
right.
a lot of energy. Yeah, listen, I do my homework, you know, and yeah, listen, I've met a lot of people around the world, but you know, for me personally, when you know, I'm very thankful and grateful, you know, that bowling has allowed me to travel the world and meet so many different people and be in so many different cultures. And, you know, I like to learn a little bit about, you know, everything. And, you know, when I'm talking to someone, I want to talk to them. I don't want to talk around them or through them. I want to talk to them and try to remember things. So, yeah, it was good fun.
Well, so you did great. Alors, donc, j'ai rencontré Tim il y a 10 ans environ, c'était au championnat du monde. Ben, en fait, en 2010, on était à Munich, en Allemagne, et ça m'a toujours surpris parce que l'année passée, au US Open, c'est la première fois qu'on se revoyait. Puis, quand je me suis présenté à lui, il a dit « Ben oui, je me souviens de toi. On a pris une photo ensemble dans l'autobus au retour. » Donc, il essaie toujours d'avoir une mémoire des gens à qui il parle un peu partout sur la planète. Donc, moi aussi, je lève mon chapeau. And Tim, also last year it was the U.S. Open at this very date, like 1 year ago. What do you remember about the U.S. Open last year?
Oh, listen, it was the U.S. Open is one of the most challenging tournaments, you know, lane conditions that it's extremely difficult to win. I remember getting a speeding ticket on my way to Nebraska, you know, on my way because I drove there from Indianapolis. I was going, I think I was going 80 in a 70 miles an hour zone, which I was surprised to get a ticket as I was getting past. So, I remember John Lacido and everybody at the bowling center being such great hosts, you know, for us and all of the bowlers. And, you know, I remember Anthony Simonson dominating, and I mean dominating the tournament. He was on a different level that week. And I remember also the third day of qualifying that the flat pattern where it played extremely difficult to where, you know, then the cashier's round and the match play got played on one pattern, which was much more playable. If the cashier's round was played on just that flat pattern, I think you might have seen Norm Duke, #1 seed, and Francois Lavoie, #2 seed, because those guys were able to attack that pattern the best. But, you know, I just remember Anthony Simonson bowling so well and so good. And, you know, just having an amazing qualification tournament. And then take it to I remember Jason Belmonte coming back to me and he goes, Tim, I don't know what to do. And we're talking about arguably, you know, the greatest in my generation for sure. And the greatest PBA major champion ever in our sport. He turned us, I don't know what to do. You know, he was flustered, but, you know, and I remember we walked through it and then, you know, once he got comfortable, you know, he made a nice little run. And then, you know, obviously he beat Anthony in the title match to win that U.S. Open, you know, to complete the career, you know, the Super Slam, which was incredible. But for me, you know, I'm euphoric for obviously Jason, but it's a difficult spot because I'm very tight with Anthony Simonson as well, and he led that tournament and lost, and yeah, it's hard when you're trying to rep for both teammates. You know, it's a very difficult situation, but those are the things I remember. Him making the 3, 6, 9, 10, and just the little things like that. And then I also remember myself and Gillian. We had the nice little video chat afterwards on the lanes. It was good fun. It was good fun.
That's
Patrick,
nice.
je vais te laisser traduire puis
Guillaume,
poser la première question.
Exactement. Guillaume m'a simplement demandé, l'an passé, à pareille date, c'était le US Open. Puis il a demandé, est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose en particulier qui est revenu? Puis pour ceux qui l'ont suivi, moi je m'en rappelle, Anthony Simonson avait détruit les qualifications. C'était incroyable à quel point il a dominé. Il y a une journée que Belmonte servirait de bord, il a regardé Tim, il a dit « Qu'est-ce que je fais? Je comprends rien. » Il l'a aidé, ça a fini par fonctionner. Ça se finit en finale, puis c'est là que ça devient déchirant. On connaît tous que Belmo a fait le Super Slam. Puis Tim dit « C'est un beau souvenir, puis en même temps, c'est déchirant parce que les deux sont dans la même équipe, c'est deux amis. » Mais c'est la réalité de notre sport. Donc, so Tim, we would like to start with a few questions. We have
Sure.
we have 34 minutes before you.
And then you're
You
coming
left.
with me in the car. Then you're
Yeah,
coming with me in
right.
the car to get my
That's
dog.
perfect. That's perfect. So for people that are with us, don't worry. We're gonna make a safe drive to pick her daughter.
It's literally
That's right.
2 miles down the street.
Perfect. So here we are with the first question because you're not old, but you're bowling for many years. Do
Yes.
you remember the first souvenir? Maybe you could remember easily that you was on the lane. The first one.
I think the first time that it was really memorable for me when something unique happened in my career when I was younger. In my younger days, is I was 9 years old and I got my picture taken in a big picture and they put it in the paper. My back swings over my head. And I know you guys will be hard to believe, but I had a full head of hair. I don't now, but I actually have the picture still. It's actually in my camera roll. It was, that was the first time I really remember said, hey man, this is pretty cool. I got my name in the paper and I'm doing something pretty fun here. And I really enjoyed it. It was when I was 9 years old, in Pennsylvania. I got my first bowling picture, my name in the paper. That's what I remember. I remember. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. Let's do more of this. Let's go.
Yeah, for
And I
sure.
think-
That was really cool to get in the newspaper like that. J'ai demandé à Tim, est-ce que tu as un souvenir, le plus loin souvenir que tu te rappelles? Il nous dit, à 9 ans, quand j'ai ouvert le journal puis que j'ai vu ma photo pleine grandeur, c'est encore un souvenir qu'il y a à la maison. Donc, c'est génial de voir que les années passent et les souvenirs restent, hein, Guillaume?
Absolument. So, Tim, you were like one of the greatest bowlers for sure, but have you played any other sports before bowling or during bowling? And yes, you did? Like I would say college sport?
Yeah, when I was growing up, I played a lot of sports. Actually, I just bowled on the weekend as in my junior league, but I was baseball, football. I played basketball as well, and I skied. I did a lot of skiing when I was younger.
Oh.
I used to.
I'm sorry, you said basketball?
Yeah, basketball. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're 5'3".
No, I'm 5'9". And could grab the rim with both hands.
Okay.
You don't understand. That's the funny thing. People don't. They don't.
Guillaume,
they laugh.
Guillaume, don't get mad. Don't get mad. We could remove you from the studio. Oh no, you're the man. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
5'3" to
do
him.
nothing.
But yeah, it's I'm sure. But I mean, listen, and then I went on to college at a big university in America, and I ended up playing college football at Penn State University for the Penn State Nittany Lions, and one of the greatest team legendary coaches of all time, and Joe Paterno. So I hold that very near and dear to my heart.
Wow, you played for Joe Paterno, really?
Yeah, in 92,
Wow.
93, 94, I was part of the Penn State football team.
Wow, congratulations.
If I had my stuff here, I would show you, but because I've just moved into a new house,
In the box,
No,
just beside.
I have my
there-
helmet. I
Just
have my
beside
helmet.
you, there's a box somewhere around you. You could find it
Oh,
easily.
yeah. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself and work ethic and drive and mental preparation and physical preparation that helped me in my bowling after I got out of college. And pursued my bowling. It was very important. It was a very important couple of years in my life. Very important.
Donc, j'ai demandé à Tim s'il avait déjà joué d'autres sports que les quilles, puis là, il m'a commencé à nommer baseball, football, le ski, le basketball. J'ai été un peu surpris du basket, mais il y a des bonnes mains, semble-t-il. Et entre autres, lorsqu'il est allé au collège, il a joué pour Penn State University. Et entre autres, il a joué pour Joe Paterno, qui est un des entraîneurs les plus connus qu'on peut, qu'un fan de football peut connaître. Il a joué plusieurs années. Il a encore son casque, mais comme il vient de déménager dans une nouvelle maison, il peut pas nous le montrer actuellement. Et la pratique du sport collégial au football l'a aidé beaucoup dans sa préparation mentale, dans son jeu physique aussi lorsqu'il est venu le temps des quilles.
That's nice. Tim, you play football at college, but you probably got to go to school also. What did you study?
A wonderful. I studied health policy administration, human development, and family studies, and it was just a unbelievable experience for me. To learn autonomy, to learn about health and fitness, learn about how to treat people, also psychology classes and family classes, and learn about the health and fitness field. I learned about a lot of things in college, and I my bachelor in science. It's about a 4-year bachelor degree from one of the best universities in our country, and education wise, and experience wise, I live that kind of lifestyle in my daily life every day. So I'm very lucky and fortunate that I was able to go to that university and have the experience that I had.
Patrick, tu y vas?
Yep. J'ai demandé s'il y avait, puis dans les faits, il n'a pas réellement répondu à la question. Moi, j'ai demandé quel diplôme exactement qu'il y avait. J'ai l'impression qu'il y en a eu 14. Donc, mais de ce que j'ai compris, c'est qu'il a vraiment étudié beaucoup tout ce qui était en lien avec la psychologie de l'être humain, les interrelations humaines, puis ça l'a fait grandir en tant qu'individu. Puis, tu sais, tout ça aujourd'hui, autant au niveau mental que physique, toutes les connaissances qu'il a acquises lui ont servi à l'université puis dans la vie par après. Là, exactement.
Oui, absolument, Patrick. Now, let's go on the lanes, Tim. Okay, sure, because for the past couple of days, Patrick and I have watched a lot of videos from you on YouTube. We did our research, and and from what we could find, okay, and don't take it the hard way, I would say, but you look like a really tough opponent, okay, because of the way you express yourself on the lane. So at some point, were you considered as an aggressive bowler or maybe cocky or something like that, too confident for the rest of the field?
I mean, it's a great question. I don't think there's anything wrong with that question. I think, self-belief it helps, breed to create success. So if you don't believe in yourself, the guy over your shoulder or the person behind you is not going to believe in you. So, I was an intense competitor on the lanes and emotional myself. For me, all my emotion was directed at me. If someone bowling a match got into me or started having war words, if they start, I would never start anything, but I would never back down from anybody. And, that competitive desire, that competitive, fire that, that I had on the lanes. I think everybody's, all the great ones, walk onto lanes and they have a self-confidence about them. I'll give you an example. Jase Belmo has a confidence about him, aura about him that, every time he steps on the lanes, he feels like he's going to win. You flip it the other way and you take a guy like Francois Lavoie, who I call Frank the Tank, who everybody also knows, Quebec, the great two-time U.S. Open champion, who bowls 300 on TV, just about any time he wants. He's got a quiet confidence about him. So if you don't know him, you would think he's just quiet and reserved. But when you get to know him and you find out what he's thinking and you could talk to him, you realize, geez, that guy's pretty confident about himself, and that's why he's great. That's why he's great. But everybody carries it a little bit differently. Some people wear, on their sleeve. Some people keep it internalized. And then some people, express it all at once. So, that's what makes our sport great, and that's what makes the captors great. We're all a little bit different. We're all a little bit different.
That's right.
So from my understanding, what you're saying is that maybe you were as confident as François Lavoie, but it was just you expressing your confidence, and you needed to express that maybe to cool down after and be ready the next time you step on the approach. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, no, but for me, I think in today's bowling, bowlers, for example, they'll throw the front 8 strikes and they leave a solid 7 pin for the lefty and a solid 10 for the righty, and they strike out shoot 279. 99% of the bowlers are talking about the solid 10 pin, the solid 7 pin. 1% are actually rewarding themselves for throwing 11 good shots. For me, it was about positive. I wanted to try to stay positive and stay engaging and pushing forward, because bowling is a game of pain, and how you deal with your pain, your ring 10, your pocket 7-10, when you have 54 in the 4th frame, how do you deal with the ebb and flows of the emotions of the ups and downs to prepare the next shot determines your success. So for me, it's really about trying to stay positive and keep the positive energy moving forward so that I can hopefully have a positive outcome. I know a lot of the best athletes on the planet that were outwardly negative, or they were always talking negative. You talk about the greats. Gretzky, he wasn't like that. Jordan wasn't like that. Tiger isn't like that. Jack Nicklaus isn't like that. I mean, when you look at baseball, you look at the greats in baseball, it's the same thing. I think positive emotion equals positive success.
Yeah, that makes sense. J'ai demandé à Tim, parce que Patrick puis moi, on a regardé quand même plusieurs vidéos de Tim. On l'a pas connu beaucoup sur nos écrans, c'est pour ça qu'il a fallu faire des recherches. Puis pour nous, le feeling qu'on avait, c'est que jouer contre Tim Mack, c'était pas facile, parce qu'il s'exprime beaucoup sur l'allée. Puis dans le fond, je lui ai demandé, est-ce que tu as déjà été considéré comme trop agressif, trop confiant, cocky un peu, vantard? Puis il a dit, dans le fond, je penserais pas, j'ai toujours été très expressif, puis moi, c'est la façon, dans le fond, que je pouvais exprimer ma confiance. Il y a des gens comme François Lavoie, il l'a cité, François Lavoie, qui est très calme. On pourrait penser que, dans le fond, il se passe rien dans ce petit corps-là, sauf que François est un homme extrêmement confiant. Et plus on est confiant en soi, plus ça nous permet d'avoir la confiance des gens qui sont derrière nous aussi. Alors, c'est ce qui a fait un peu la clé de son succès durant toutes ces années-là. Et Patrick, je ne sais pas si j'oublie quelque chose, mais je pense que ça résume parfait. Quand même assez bien. Hein?
Yep, c'est bon. Parfait. Tim, he was the coach of the team who won back-to-back Elias Cup, and
I have a lot of
fun. And I have a question that you will understand why I'm talking about this stuff, because as a competitor, we used to see some weird thing on and off the lane sometimes in tournament.
Sure.
For me, the first year you won the Elias Cup, when I saw you jumping in Westmount Arms, that's weird. As a competitor, I was like, what the hell? Okay, he's happy, but what happened here?
I want to win.
Yeah, for sure. That's right. That's probably something really, really cool to live. But did you remember some things awkward or weird during your bowling career and still bowling career?
I mean, yeah. I mean, listen. There's obviously some things over time, that happen that are crazy, but
we have time.
Moments like that,
take your time.
moments like you're discussing about me jumping into Wes's arms. You think about the time, and you think about the years, because you have to wait 1 year every year to get that one chance to try to get that team together and gel together, and then win for your hometown with all the pressure and all the people on you, and everybody expecting you, hoping for a good result. I'm like, come on, man, this is it, and you're trying to get the guys to be on the same page and stay positive when it's real easy to go down if something bad happens to you. I think it was culmination of all the years. In the PBA league, the Portland Lumberjacks have been in the finals 3 of the last 4 years. 3 of the last 4 years. So that's not easy to get to. There's a lot of things that got to go into place, and that's with three different teams. Yeah, we've had it's just been.
You had Chris Prater, Wes Malott, that were the core of this team.
Well, the last 2 years we've had Kyle Troop, Chris Prater, and Wes Malott, and then Ryan Simonelli. He's been, he was a Portland Lumberjack forever, and I'd be remiss to say, not mention Ryan, because Ryan was one of those original Lumberjacks, and he was phenomenal for the Portland Lumberjacks and instrumental and key in us getting that first title. So, Ryan will always be, near and dear to me as far as that's concerned on the Lumberjack side. He's just what a competitor. And then the first year we had another Canadian, Mitch Pay, fit perfectly. Fabio, he fit right in with,
Fabio.
Just a guy that's got a quiet confidence about him. Internally inside, when he's got it going. But on the outside, you really don't know, because he's kind of quiet and reserved. But his ball rolls like it's 25 pounds, and that first year I'll never forget. We're forever the 2019 Lumberjacks with those 5. So, but and Kyle Troop's been on the team, I think, for 4 years now. He was in the, we were in that final as well. The 3 that we had before Prater arrived, really Ryan Simonelli, Kyle, and Wes Malott. And the year that we made the final, that year we had Liz Johnson and Brian Smith. Brian Smith out of Roseburg, Oregon. What a talent, amazing bowler. Another guy that's confident and quiet and can do it all. Just a great team, great fit for a team. And then we had Liz Johnson, the greatest women bowler of all time. She was unbelievable. She's gonna hit the pocket. We had on our team that year, we had 5 major champions. Brian Smith, Masters champion. Liz Johnson, she's won every major championship there is. Wes Malott, U.S. Open champion. Okay. Ryan Simonelli, U.S. Open champion. Okay. And at that time, I think Oscar Palermo was on our team, and he was he's won the world championship. So we've just had. I think it's infectious and contagious. I think one of the things that I bring to the team also is I still bowl. I'm bowling a little bit now. I'm trying to make a comeback again, do some bowling. So I can see the ball down lane and know what we can make some good changes. We got great communication, and that's what you need in that event to win. You need together and communication.
Yeah, for sure. And you told about the one frame maybe that could break everything, because a bad split or a 9 count on the wrong spot costs a lot of pins at that type, in that format. So that's really impressive. J'ai demandé à Tim s'il y avait un moment bizarre qui s'était produit. Puis,
sorry, I talked too much. I apologize. Sorry.
Vous parlez français?
I can forget. You got to translate.
Vous parlez français?
Ouais, parlez-vous français.
Non, anymore. Comment allez-vous?
Good.
Je tiens Tim Mack.
J'ai demandé à Tim s'il y avait un moment étrange ou bizarre, puis j'ai dit, moi, si j'avais été un compétiteur en finale, la première fois que je l'ai vu sauter d'un bras de Westmallard, j'aurais fait comme, ouais, qu'est-ce qui se passe là, tu sais? Puis, il a tout de suite enchaîné, puis il nous a amenés ailleurs, parce que je crois que, Guillaume, corrige-moi si je me trompe, il y a une fierté immense envers les joueurs qui ont porté les... Ouais, merci, Marc, d'être
You're right, Mark.
Sorry. Mais tu sais, Guillaume, je pense qu'il nous a parlé de tous les joueurs qui ont participé à l'équipe. Il y a plusieurs champions de tournois majeurs, tu sais, pour les énumérer, là, Brian Smith, Liz Johnson, Osco est passé par là. Puis le core, comme tu l'as nommé, c'est depuis 4 ans maintenant. Il y a Carl Troop, il y a Chris Prater, il y a Wes Mallott qui forment tout ça. Puis à travers tout ça, tantôt il nous a parlé de confiance. Ben, il le transpose encore dans cette équipe-là, puis il parle de jouer ensemble. C'est ça, c'est une image qui vaut beaucoup de mots, je pense. De jouer ensemble, de regarder dans le même sens, puis la communication. On a tous fait des tournois en équipe, puis en équipe, ben, tu ne peux pas gagner toute seule, puis c'est ce qu'il nous a carrément expliqué. On vous fait ça court parce que ça durait 8 heures, mais c'est ce que ça dit.
So
sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We're having fun.
I get a little excited, and that team, these guys, and our 3 core guys right now. I mean, you think about Chris Prather, Kyle Troop, and Wes Mallott, and I mean, what do you say, guys? They're unbelievable bowlers. They're unbelievable people. And
well, do you know what I say?
Really lucky.
And Tim, do you know what I say? I say, where is the trophy? Bring the trophy back. This is what I say. So
well,
Tim,
I hope so.
Yeah, so Tim, we're talking a lot about the PBA, and back in the days when you were like an athlete, always there, always bowling here, there, and everywhere around the globe. We didn't really see you on the PBA tour. You were always competing like international tournaments and stuff like that.
That's right.
We had a hard time actually finding videos of you, and it was mostly the Weber Cup and some tournaments here and there. So why didn't you bowl that much on the PBA tour when you were right there at the top?
They didn't have video when I was bowling. That's all I had.
That's what I'm expecting as an answer, because it was mid 90s. That's right.
Yeah. My first international trip was 1996, and I have to mention, especially now, the Storm Bowling Products and the owner, Mr. Bill Crispin and Barb Crispin. First off, I want to say, get well, Mr. Crispin. He's just had some major surgery and is recovering nicely. I actually just talked to him on the phone beforehand. But without Bill and Barb and everybody at Storm, Corbett Austin, and our president Dave Sims, with everybody there, I wouldn't be in the shoes I'm in today. The reason why I didn't join and go out on the PBA tour and bowl the PBA tour is because the money that I was making was quite lucrative, and I really enjoyed my experience traveling around the world. And we were trying to build the Storm brand also around the world as I was traveling.
Okay. Yeah, it makes a lot. Well, it makes a lot of sense, actually, what you're saying there. But just before I translate, do you have maybe any regrets? Or no, it's all good, it's all fine. I did what I had to do, and I had so much fun traveling, meeting the best bowlers in the world. No, it's all good.
I'm not sure I would have made the same impact in the sport of bowling around the world if I had just been a PBA bowler. I love the fact that I've competed in over 50 countries around the world. I've been fortunate that I've won, tournaments in, I think it's 28 or 29 countries. I don't know what it is, but it's a lot of
30,
countries.
more than 30, they say in your
bio.
bio.
So I don't. Yeah, it's now maybe it's I have 328 or 29 different countries. In any case,
but you could take a look at internet. Look at Tim Mack on Google, and you could find a lot.
I probably should. I don't like really talking about it that much. Because I lived it, and it was an unbelievable experience. And yeah, I mean, the PBA is. It would be great to have 20, 25 titles, what have you. But I bowled a lot of tournaments with those guys in the field as well, around the world, and I won them. I won them, some of them. So yeah, I mean, the only thing missing on my resume as far as that's concerned is a national title, but I didn't bowl the PBA tour when I was 100% healthy, and and at my peak, at my prime. We had a plan, and myself and Mr. Crispin, I traveled the world, and that experience, you can't get that bowling on the PBA tour. You can't. Right. And now, if you look at all the bowlers over the years that have been coming to the PBA tour, and look how great the international bowlers are and how great they've done, I think maybe people realize now that a lot of the people that I bowled against were also great bowlers, and I don't hear what I used to hear before. He didn't bowl against the best of the best. Well, we're still not bowling. All the best bowlers in the world aren't bowling together, because there's an awful lot of bowlers in Korea that could come to America right now on the on our national team and on their tour and make an impact on our tour. And we've done a better job getting mostly everybody together, but we still have a ways to go before we get all the best bowlers on the planet bowling together. And that was a goal of mine, to try to get bring the world of bowling together. And it was something that I hold very near and dear to me. But without the support of Bill Crispin and Barb Crispin and Storm, and what they've done for bowling and what they've given back to bowling, I don't know that I would have traveled around the world and been able to do what I've done. So I don't want to say I have any regrets at all. There's no regret, because if I'm healthy enough, if I was healthy enough, I almost won the last singles tournament I bowled, in 2016 in Maine. But I'm not dead yet. Just so you know, I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've got 2.5 pounds of titanium in my slide leg. I've had 7 knee surgeries. I've had 3 right shoulder surgeries, but my heart still works. My eyes still work, and my mind still works.
Right there.
I'm still okay. I can bowl. So as Guillaume said 5 minutes earlier, just before he translate, let's go, Guillaume.
That's his fault.
Comme vous pouvez voir, Tim Mack a beaucoup de jasettes ce soir, puis c'est excellent, on aime ça comme ça. Rapidement, je lui ai demandé pourquoi on l'a pas vu tant que ça sur la PBA. Et dans le fond, c'est quand même très simple, c'est que avec Bill et Barbara Crispin de Storm, on avait un peu l'intention d'envahir la planète puis de faire connaître Storm un peu partout. Et Tim a vraiment été la figure dominante, a vraiment été comme le poster boy, mais pas juste le poster boy, il a été celui qui a mis les abats sur les tableaux de pointage pour faire connaître la compagnie. Ça lui a permis de voyager vraiment partout, de gagner des titres partout. L'argent aussi a été un bon facteur parce que comme il gagnait à peu près tout ce qu'il pouvait jouer, les chèques rentraient sans aucun problème. Peut-être qu'il n'aurait pas fait autant d'argent sur la PBA, mais bon, ça reste un peu à voir. Maintenant, a-t-il des regrets? Pas tant que ça. Dans le fond, parce qu'il pense que toute l'expérience internationale qu'il est allé chercher a pu l'amener beaucoup plus loin et qu'il a plus d'impact aujourd'hui dans le sport des quilles. Puis là, vite de même, il dit, j'ai pas fini, mon cœur fonctionne, mes yeux fonctionnent, ma tête fonctionne. C'est pas parce que j'ai eu 3 opérations à l'épaule, set au genou qu'on m'a mis, I think it's 2 pounds of titanium. Is that 2 pounds?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Donc, il y a beaucoup de titanium dans son genou. Il dit, je suis encore capable de jouer aux quilles.
That's a good thing. And probably Guillaume, we should try it because he's still bowling good and he got 2 pounds of titanium in the knee and he got some shoulder operation.
It's been a challenge, guys.
I should try. I have a gym. I have a gym behind me, but it never get any surgery.
I should come over to your house.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Come over.
During the past year, we used to see some good and great Canadian bowler on the lanes, and probably you crossed some tournament with those bowler. Did you remember a guy like Bill Rowe or maybe Craig Woodhouse?
Listen.
We didn't mention Pat Healy. Pat Healy also was Canadian, Guillaume.
No, he's American.
Pat
lived in Niagara Falls, but he bowled in Canada often. But I remember Donnie Schatz. I remember Mark Doy. I remember Warren Rennox. Lionel Lewis, L Train. I mean, you're talking about amazing talent in Canada. And then a little later, Michael Schmidt, who's won the World Cup a bunch of times, is great to see. And then, obviously Francois Lavoie on PBA for that best. Billy Rowe was one of the greatest bowlers I've ever seen. He could throw it, and he threw strikes, and I mean big money strikes like you couldn't believe. By the way, I don't mean to cut you off, but you guys are coming in the car with me now, so it's a perfect time to.
It wasn't a joke. We said to our viewers.
No, I'm serious. We're going to stay on this. We're going to stay on this call.
Okay, perfect. That's the joy of life.
Guys, if I lose the internet, just know that I'll zoom right back on, just so you know. Okay.
Okay, good.
But
so you were talking about Bill Rowe.
Yeah, Bill Rowe was the best.
Bill Rowe was one of the guys. He was one of the greatest competitors, greatest bowlers I've ever seen. Woody Woodhouse was a little before my time, but I did my homework with him. And I promise you, he was. Here we go. He's something special. Craig Woodhouse, amazing bowler, amazing talent, and just what was great about bowling. I mean, really, I was fortunate. And I'm going to mention another guy that you guys probably don't. There's a little older, Alan Tone. Okay.
Yeah.
Alan Tone.
Yeah, I do know.
Alan Tone was as good as they come. I mean, you're talking about the best of the best. These guys. And of course I'm missing guys. I'm missing people. See, it's America. It's not just Canada. We have snow too.
Yeah, but you know what? Next week you won't have any snow left.
Well, Pell.
Yeah, Mike, cut off you guys, but hopefully it'll go back on.
Perfect. We will take care of our viewers since you get back.
Okay.
Perfect. Talk to you later. Bon. Pour ceux qui
Patrick,
étaient
c'est toute une aventure qu'on a ce soir avec Tim Mack. Oh.
Come back.
Okay, perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, for
yes,
sure.
we do.
You're there. Okay, perfect. Everything's fine.
Okay, good. We're back. Yeah, I just lost because I lost my home internet now, so I'm on the road. But
okay, it explains everything.
Translate.
We could translate.
Maybe you guys could translate a little bit and.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk about the great bowlers, that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. During the time you drive, we're gonna translate that. Perfect. J'ai demandé. J'ai parlé.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll do my part. Thank you. Drive safely, please.
We're good. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Perfect. On lui a demandé, est-ce qu'il y a des bons joueurs canadiens que tu as croisés? Puis clairement, je suis dans les patates, je vais parler de Patty Lee, mais on a mentionné un Bill Rowe puis un Craig Woodhouse qui sont des joueurs qui ont très bien performé à l'international. Puis il nous a défilé ça. Il nous a parlé de Mark Doyle, de Mike Smith. Puis on fait un tour de bateau. J'espère que tout va bien.
Warren Renix, Lionel Lewis.
Lionel Lewis, yeah, right.
Yep. Warren Renix.
Warren Renix. Il y a aussi parlé de...
Alan Tone. Le
Alan
meilleur.
Tone, he was the daddy.
Le meilleur des meilleurs. Pour les plus vieux, parce que moi, je sais c'est qui, je ne l'ai jamais vu. Mais Guillaume, peut-être tu peux nous en parler.
Oui, ben absolument. Tim, you should know that... you should know that back a couple of years ago, when I used to bowl the Canadian team trials, Al Tone was inducted in the Canadian 10-Pin Federation, and the CTF used to ask me to translate, the at the banquet.
As he should be, guys.
Yes, as he should be, obviously.
One of the best ever.
And at the banquet, I had the privilege to translate his speech, at being inducted into the CTF Hall of Fame. So, yeah, he's one of the greatest competitors we had in Canada, obviously. And, he made a couple of appearances recently at the Canadian team trials to get a spot into the senior team. He didn't succeed, but he was still there competing hard, fighting hard, as we know him.
Listen, he's an all-time competitor. Alan's got to be mid-50s at least, or close to 60. So age-wise,
yeah, absolutely.
And I know he had some health issues there for a little bit, but he's not a young spring chicken anymore. But you want to talk about a guy with some serious touch and just an amazing bowler. I mean, Alan Tone's your guy. So, all right, I'm going to go pick up my daughter now. Hopefully I don't lose internet here. So, as you can see, there's a lot of snow here. So
a lot of snow.
I told you guys
about 10 centimeters. It's not snow. It's just normal life.
I told you guys I was going to.
I'm going to send you a picture of my house tomorrow, and you'll see the difference.
Yeah, we're talking about snow.
Okay. All right.
So,
I mean, that's the snow here is pretty high. I got to be honest with you. I mean, that's people. It's about 8 feet tall.
Okay, that's high.
It's pretty high.
That's high. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's real snow. That's real snow. Guillaume, on pourrait peut-être
essayer de poser une autre question.
Ouais, on pourrait peut-être, c'est ça, pendant qu'il nous attend sa fille, mais Guillaume, j'aimerais ça que tu traduises aux gens, parce que les gens savent que tu as été, puis tu l'es encore, le traducteur pour la compagnie Storm, mais tu as été utilisé aussi pour le CTF là, dans des événements pour traduire un petit peu ce qui s'est produit. On parlait d'Alan Tone, puis si j'ai bien compris, la journée où il a été introduit au Temple de la Renommée du CTF, de la Fédération canadienne des quilles, j'imagine.
Oui, exactement. Donc, c'est ça. Dans les dernières années que j'ai joué le tournoi pour les qualifications Équipe Canada, lorsque Alton a été introduit au Temple de la Renommée de la Fédération canadienne des quilles, c'est moi qui ai eu le privilège de faire la traduction de son discours pour son introduction au Temple de la Renommée. C'est quand même assez spécial. J'ai fait celui de Jack Brace aussi. C'est des beaux moments que j'ai pu avoir. Puis, c'est ça, dans le fond, à chaque fois que je me présente, souvent de fois, le CTF me demande pour aller faire de la traduction. J'ai tout le temps bien du plaisir. Puis ça me permet d'avoir des moments comme ça aussi.
Ouais, exactement, des souvenirs. Tim?
Yes.
We used to see you with the lightning and the stars all the times. Since always. You start to bowl with Storm Products in 1997. You told us that Bill and Barbara...
1995 is the first time. June 29th, 1995. Storm
Okay,
products.
1990. Okay, I
Yep.
I have to call Google. They said 1997 on your bio. Sorry.
No, he's wrong.
He's wrong.
1995. I still have my first bowling ball from
I will
1995.
I will call them tomorrow. So, so now 25 years with Storm, and you said earlier that Bill and Barbara was everything for you for many years.
Yep.
Could you imagine to bowl with something else than Storm, or have you ever bowled with something else than Storm?
Yeah, I actually the first, if you pull it up on YouTube, my first World Team Challenge show in 1995, in March of '95, I was using a Piranha C.
Oh, wow.
Blue Piranha C, and one of the other shows I used a Columbia Beast. At that time, I was just like I said, I was young. I was getting balls. I got a couple balls for free from a friend, and he said, "Go ahead and try them." And I tried them. It worked. And then really the whole Storm story. It's a long story. How it worked out and how I met Mr. Chrisman and what transpired. Okay, get up. See, I'm already back home. See?
No big deal.
That's really cool. We never saw your daughter, so that's perfect.
She's right here. Say hi.
Hello, Nana.
Go. Yeah, she's 14 and she's getting ready. She's
a
really
teenager,
good at soccer,
so
it's really cool.
That's a real teenager. Okay, I said hi. Dad asked, so I gotta go now. Perfect. J'ai demandé à Tim, est-ce que, on le connaît depuis toujours avec des beaux Storm, 25 ans maintenant, il nous a parlé du 29 juin, Guillaume?
De juin 1995.
Juin 1995, qui est avec Storm. Puis, il nous a parlé que si on regarde sur Internet, parce qu'on lui a demandé, as-tu déjà lancé d'autres choses? Il nous dit, oui, si vous regardez sur Internet des vieux vidéos, pour les plus vieux comme moi, ou même les Jonathan Roy qui ont trippé là-dessus, la Piranha bleue, la Piranha C bleue, puis la bise, ben, ça représente notre adolescence. Puis c'était magique. Puis c'est à cette époque-là qu'il a découvert la famille Chrisman. Puis le reste, c'est de l'histoire. Là. C'est vraiment génial. Là.
Exact. Tim, I still want to talk a little bit more about Bill and Barb because back in 2018 at the Montreal Open, we had Pete Weber coming to bowl this tournament, and I had a long interview live with him, and I asked him about Bill and Barb, and he said that they are like a second dad and a second mom for him. Every single time that he goes to Utah, he always stay there. It looks like he has his own room inside their house and stuff like that. They took care of him.
I have the room.
Oh, okay.
I was there 2 years before him, so I got dibs on the room. I mean, listen, there's a lot of truth to what Pete is saying. Meant Bill and Barb and what they've given their life to bowling and have changed so many lives. I mean, we're not only talking about hundreds of lives as far as the employees, but we're talking about millions of bowlers around the world that haven't had an experience with a Storm bowling ball. So it's no surprise that and everybody knows that my close relationship with them. Bill's Big Daddy. I've called him Big Daddy forever. And Barb is Mama C, and she knows that. And that's how I talk. I call it my whole forever. So they're very just to back up what Pete said, they're very important people to me personally. Put the business stuff aside. I have many talks with Bill about life and sports and a lot of things. And I've had some wonderful discussions with Barb where she's given me some good advice on a lot of areas. And, we talk about travel and helped her out with some just in travel places where she's gone, and they're what's right about our sport. If people cared as much as Bill and Barb, we'd be in better shape. But I'll say this, up north, you guys with the Buffas, with Frank Buffa and Mark Buffa, unbelievable people. Just giving back to the sport. Trying to help bowling, trying to make an impact, trying to make a difference, whether it's training, coaching, supplying, all the products. Again, you've got great people up there as well. But Bill and Barb are special people, no doubt.
J'ai demandé à Tim juste de revenir encore un petit peu sur Bill et Barb Christman, les présidents, fondateurs, nommés-les propriétaires de Storm. Puis il dit, ce sont vraiment des gens spéciaux. Ils ont changé la vie, pas juste la mienne, mais de plusieurs skieurs dans le monde, de millions de skieurs dans le monde qui utilisent les produits Storm aujourd'hui. Puis si on met la business de côté, là, les quilles, pour lui, il peut parler de n'importe quoi avec ces deux personnes-là. Il peut les appeler, il peut parler de politique, de sport, de la vie en général. Ce sont vraiment des gens incroyables. Puis il en a profité aussi pour saluer encore une fois Frank et Mark Buffa qui, à leur façon, essaient de faire un peu la même chose ici au Canada en redonnant beaucoup au sport.
Yeah, that's a really honor. That's mean everything what you said. Everything's changed really fast in everywhere. Probably we could look around us, informatic or whatever, but in our case, we're talking about bowling, about bowling balls, lane surface, oil, techniques. How could you stay up with it? Do you have to work on something specific, or because you're bowling for many years, but now you're with the best and you have to help them, so you have to be on the spot at the good time?
Yeah, it's a great question, because the game has changed. It's always changing. The game is always changing. That's one thing that people need to understand. Oils are always changing. Cleaners are changing. Cover stocks are changing. Lane surfaces are changing. The game is evolving all the time, and the bowling styles are changing. 10 years ago, we barely, we didn't, the two-handers weren't as many as they are today. So, and they make a big difference on how the lane transitions, how it breaks down, and what you want to do to attack the lane. So, it's very important to try to stay on top of those things. You have to understand ball surface, cores, the dynamics of the bowling ball, the external and internal components. You have to understand also the bowler that you're dealing with. And I'm a firm believer that each bowler, and I coach this and I preach this, each bowler has their own bowling DNA. It's unique to that player. Now, you can take bits and pieces from everybody's DNA, but in the end, you still have your own bowling DNA. And it's very important that you understand the bowler's DNA and understand what works for them. So, for example, when I'm in a PBA tournament and I'm sitting there talking to Frank the Tank, I can't talk to Frank the same way I talk to Simonson. I can't talk to Belmo the same way I talk to Jesper. I can't talk to Chris Prather the same way I talk to Kyle Troop. So it's very unique, and I think that's very important when you're talking about the coaching aspect that you refer to, but also staying on top of the game. And the other thing that I am doing still now, and I'm trying to do it more, is I'm throwing the balls. So I understand the ball motions, which helps a lot.
I think that's the right way to stay close from, because you could learn on the lanes, but during the time you're throwing bowling balls, it's easier for you probably to understand what it's supposed to happen. That's right. Okay.
It helps.
OK, j'ai demandé, tu sais, maintenant, on est conscient là, que les quais ont changé beaucoup dans les dernières années. Puis, on voit beaucoup de technologies apparaître, les noyaux, les surfaces, les allées, l'huile même sur les allées est rendue un facteur. Puis, il parlait que même les joueurs, il y a quelques années, les joueurs à deux mains ont comme amené aussi une nouvelle façon de briser l'allée, de dégrader les patrons d'huile. Donc, encore là, il a fallu comme se réinventer et puis chercher à être capable de parler de différentes façons. Puis, il disait qu'au final, peu importe, on a tout un ADN. Puis, de la façon qu'on est conçu, on peut essayer de copier un, de copier l'autre. Et à la fin, on va toujours être un joueur unique. Puis, il disait qu'il ne peut pas s'exprimer de la même façon avec tout le monde parce qu'on est tous différents. And I have a quick little story to tell you that you're talking about DNA, and we are all different. Guillaume, probably you could remember a couple years ago at 440 Bowling Center in Laval when Dale Ballard came for, I don't know, for a clinic or something else. We was really close people from Bufa team, and it was like 40 people, I think, or something like that. And you're talking about DNA. I'm a type of bowler that's really muscular, and I was on the lane standing, and Dale Ballard just hold my biceps and told me, "Could you muscle it a little bit more, please?" And I was just standing on the approach, and I look at him. I don't muscle it, so. And I worked hard with him and Frank always said to me, in French, it's comme un spaghetti cuit. And
so your arm needs to be like a spaghetti, really
spaghetti,
loose.
really
loose.
Needs
to relax. Loose.
We'll have chance to meet each other, and you will understand that I'm not really loose, but I'm still bowling good. So that's cool. Juste finir cette petite histoire-là, dans le fond, on parlait d'ADN, puis qu'on est tous un peu, tu sais, vous me connaissez, et je lance la boule un petit peu fort, puis j'ai parlé d'il y a quelques années que j'ai eu la chance d'être sur l'allée avec Dale Ballard pendant une clinique qui encore une fois, la famille Bouffard avait organisée pour nous. Puis il m'avait demandé, tu peux-tu juste forcer un peu plus, genre? Puis j'étais comme, je force pas. C'est comme ça. Puis même avec toutes les années, Frank a travaillé fort. Puis j'imagine que Frank est avec nous puis il nous entend. Merci Frank, on va travailler là-dessus sur un élan libre. Mais pour le moment, on est au statu quo. Donc Guillaume, je te laisse continuer.
Tim, I don't know how much time left you have.
I leave tomorrow morning for Florida, so whatever you want to talk about, we're good.
No,
Okay.
you have to sleep also and
take a shower.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so maybe a few more questions before we go to the lightning round.
No
Okay, excellent. So you also coach outside of the United States. You went to different countries, and once again I remember that in Germany you were the coach of Hong Kong, if my memory serves me well. So how long did you stay outside of the United States to coach here and there, and did your family have to move with you also? Did they follow you in this adventure?
Yeah. When I was traveling as a bowler, I would do clinics and exhibitions and private coaching as a bowler, and to kind of build up as I was going along. And then as I got older, I got interested in trying to help some national teams. And I was very, very fortunate to go to Indonesia and help out Indonesia down there in 2007. I actually was an assistant coach, and this is all assistant coaching stuff, technical coaching stuff, lane play, balls, mental game, trying to help the bowlers win. I was fortunate in 2008 to be with Team Sweden. First time you had an international person in their coaching carousel. I don't know how many years. That was a wonderful experience. And then I had a great friend of mine, Purvis Granger, who was the head coach over Hong Kong. I went over and helped him with their youth team. And then also, again, where I met you in Munich, Germany at Dream Bowl Palace at the 2010 World Championships. I worked with their adult team as well there. And then the big one probably for me still is where I made a change. I actually moved to Bahrain and trained the Bahrain national team. They only had two bowling centers in there, two bowling centers that were actually bowling centers in their country. They had less than 150 registered bowlers, and it was a big challenge, but they had some great talent. And actually, I was fortunate enough to coach against the great Frank Buffa as he was coaching in UAE. I was coaching Bahrain, and we had some wonderful battles. I remember the first Arab Games Championship in Bahrain. Our team was very successful, and also Frank won a gold medal in the Masters with Hussein Al Suwaidi, and that was 2011. I remember that vividly, and Frank will remember that as well. But the Bahrain experience was something special. I went over there and I lived by myself. It was very difficult. It was extremely difficult. That was the only time I actually went and lived in another country. My daughter was 4 years old and I had to leave her home. But it was an opportunity and a chance to do something different and do something special, and to prove to some people that that I have a bigger window to give to sport other than just being a bowler. And I was fortunate enough that the people at Storm saw that as well, and which was a big thing. And but my family stayed home. I made a lot of 2 years. It was a hard. I missed I missed a lot of time in my daughter's life, and I missed my wife, and it was extremely difficult. It's still difficult to talk about to this day, but like sometimes in life you got to make some sacrifices, and I've done that, and I made a lot of sacrifices, especially traveling. And the one thing about COVID that's been great for me is I've been able to see my girls every single day. It's March 16th, and that you can't put a price on.
Yeah, it's priceless. For the rest, there is MasterCard.
Yeah. Or American Express. Don't leave home without.
Avec.
Yeah, American Express in the US and MasterCard here.
Yep.
Donc, j'ai demandé un petit peu à Tim parce qu'on sait qu'il est allé être entraîneur pour d'autres pays. Lorsque moi, j'ai joué le championnat mondial à Munich en Allemagne, lui, il était coach à Hong Kong. Donc, il a souvent été coach beaucoup en Indonésie, mais c'était un peu, j'ai envie de dire, temps partiel ou assistant coach, quelque chose comme ça. Il était jamais à l'avant-plan, puis il revenait souvent au pays. Cependant, au Bahreïn, quand il est allé là, ça a été très dur, très difficile. Sa famille n'a pas suivi. Sa fille avait 4 ans. Ça fait 10 ans de ça. Ça a été des gros sacrifices qu'il a fait. C'est encore un peu difficile d'en parler aujourd'hui. Vous avez certainement senti un peu là, l'émotion ou l'inconfort qu'il y avait peut-être à en parler, mais en même temps, d'aller là-bas, ça a été une façon pour lui de prouver que Tim Mack n'était pas juste un joueur de quilles, mais aussi un entraîneur qui pouvait aller loin, qui pouvait amener son équipe très loin. Il a gagné des médailles avec le pays et même il se souvient avoir joué contre l'équipe de Frank Buffa, qui lui était entraîneur des Émirats Arabes Unis dans ce temps-là. Donc, je pense, Patrick, que si on ouvrait la machine un peu, là, qu'on pourrait continuer toute la nuit juste à parler de coaching avec lui.
Exactement. Tim, maybe just a little question before the lightning round. And there's one thing that's really hard on my mind. You was a power player, and you're still a power player because you have titaniums and surgery and everything. So you're like a RoboCop. So that's perfect. But power players are really, really different during the time you start playing bowling in mid-90s and power players now. What's the big difference between those type of power players?
It's extremely different. It's a great question. When I was coming up, in the '90s, I was the difference with me is, I could create, what two-handers create now. I can get further left than anybody, throw it further right than anybody, and bring it back. And I kind of knew where it was going too. And as I got better, as Chris Barnes would tell me, my spray gun, started to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So, I learned that over time. I was able to play parts of the lane and do things with the bowling ball that other people couldn't. And your Robert Smiths, who's one of my dear friends, we could just create something that, that other people just couldn't do. They couldn't do. We had extremely high rev rate, incredible high ball speed, and we had great ball speed control and good accuracy. And today, really, there's not a lot of one-handers with their thumb in the ball as far as the power game. That there's only a couple that can really keep up with the two-handers when they're striking. E.J. Tackett, he's got his thumb in the ball, high rev rate, and guy's got 13 titles. I mean, he's right there. It's a lot smaller than it used to be. But then you flip the switch, guys, and I'm gonna throw this out there for you. You look at guys like Norm Duke, who at 54 years of age a couple of years ago, won twice on the PBA Tour. Okay? He won when it was multiple pattern championship. What do you have to do there? You have to control your ball speed and control your angles. He's a magician at it. So he was able to win both events because he's one of the best ever. You look at a guy like Chris Prather, really heavy ball roll. Okay? Doesn't have the 550 rev rate, but is right there every single week because of his shot repeatability. It's incredible. And then you take a guy like Bill O'Neill, who is not a super high rev rate, but also thumb in the ball and has been right there all day long, right in the mix with, these last couple of years at winning. So you got to stick to your strengths as a bowler. And I think while I'm talking about that, the one guy that got away from it, which was from Quebec City, Frankie the Tank, he got away from it, made him great. And then you know what? He reverted back, said, you know what? I got to stick to what I do good. I'm not going to have 550 rev rate. But you know what? I'm going to hit a dime out there at 40 feet, getting the angle. And guess what? He won the U.S. Open doing it. So the difference in today's game is the power players, the big ones, most of them don't have, Jesper Svensson, obviously Bello, even Simonson, is, I wouldn't even classify him as a high power because Simonson's rev rate is lower than Jay Tackett's. So, but most of your big power players today, are two-handed sensations, and we didn't have a lot of that back then. We were one-handed guys that, kind of like your E.J. Tacketts of today's game. So it still plays today. If I was healthy, because my rev rate is still pretty good, but my ball speed and my body is broken. I'm not strong like Gilliam. Not strong like Gilliam, then then I'd be okay. But I think the major differences are obviously the two-handed style, but you still see guys have their thumb in it, high rev rate, that are very successful.
Yeah, you talk about Frankie the Tank on the show for the Players Championship. Jason Belmonte, that's not a bad bowler or bad commentator, but he said that Frank, and you talk about Norm, that he won twice last year at 44 years of age, and Jason told that Frankie is the new Norm Duke. Not high rev rate, not that much power, but he could hit numbers time after time after time, just like you said about Bill O'Neill or Chris Prater or whatever. That's really cool.
It's sticking to their strengths. He went back to what made him great in the first place. I think he got away from it from a little bit, and he went back to what made him great and made him a world-class bowler, a multiple champion, Canadian champion, world champion in Las Vegas in 2013. That's I think he won the trios with the thoroughbred Mark Buffa. I can't remember who the player was on the team.
It was
Patrick
Patrick
Girard.
Girard. Patrick Girard.
Yeah, Pat Girard, another power, another great Canadian, French Canadian bowler. Yeah, I mean, Frank went back to what he did. Francois Leroy, because we're in Bexley. He went back to doing what made him magnifique, and that's why he's great again.
Good, thanks. J'ai demandé qu'est-ce qui était la différence entre un power player quand lui a commencé à jouer dans les années 90, puis pas quand il a commencé, mais quand lui était au top dans les années 90, puis les nouveaux power players, les joueurs de très haute révolution. Ce qu'il nous a expliqué, c'est que lui réussissait à créer ce que les joueurs à deux mains font maintenant. Il était plus à gauche que tout le monde, il avait plus d'armes que tout le monde, il y avait beaucoup de révolutions, il lançait très fort. Pour les gens qui ont suivi la PBA, on a vu aussi Robert Smith qui faisait des choses incroyables. J'ai eu la chance de jouer avec lui, moi aussi, Guillaume.
Yeah, one more time.
Excuse me, I'm
God
sorry.
bless you.
It's okay, God bless you.
À vos souhaits.
À vos souhaits, oui, à vos souhaits.
I remember my French teacher, Miss Fritz, Nancy Fritz, when you sneezed in French class in 10th grade, I was like, merci beaucoup. Okay.
Okay, let me finish. Hold on, please. 1 minute.
Sorry.
Comme je continue, il expliquait qu'il réussissait à faire des choses que les joueurs à deux mains font maintenant. Puis, ce que les joueurs à deux mains font, c'est des joueurs avec beaucoup de vitesse, beaucoup de révolution. Mais il a quand même pris le temps de mentionner, Guillaume, que la clé du succès, c'est de répéter. Puis il a nommé un paquet de joueurs qui jouent avec un pouce. Il a nommé Jay Tackett, vainqueur de 13 titres. Il a nommé des Bill O'Neill, des Chris Prater qui réussissent à faire des choses incroyables, créer de l'angle tout en étant précis. Il a parlé de Norm Duke, encore une fois, la boule, elle n'avance pas, elle ne tourne pas, mais il frappe les planches. Il frappe les planches, puis il ne manque jamais. Puis j'ai parlé de François parce que j'ai regardé le show d'il y a 2-3 semaines. Puis quand Jason Belmonte a dit « François est le nouveau Norm Duke », je pensais que c'était un magnifique compliment. Donc, c'est un peu ça. Donc, au final, ce que Tim nous a dit, c'est que oui, la révolution, oui, la puissance, mais la précision va toujours avoir comme préséance sur tout ça, je pense.
Absolument. Tim, we could go on and on and on. The list of questions is not finished, but let's jump to the lightning round if you don't mind. And this way you will be able to go to bed, rest a bit before driving tomorrow. Are you ready for the lightning round?
I hope so. The lightning storm was great bowling ball, so I hope I can do good in the lightning round.
Sounds good. So short questions and short answers. All right?
Sure.
So
okay,
we'll start
I repeat, short answer.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
I promise.
Perfect.
So, would you rather be an amateur bowler or a pro bowler?
Professional amateur.
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
Professional amateur.
Perfect.
Professional amateur. Just like what you were back in the days. Sounds good.
Perfect. Now, being a bowler or a coach or a ball rep?
That's tough. All three have their benefits. But there's no substitute for feeling it yourself and having it on your shoulders, in your hand. So, bowler, coach, rep.
Good. On va juste traduire ces deux-là, Patrick, avant de poursuivre.
Ouais.
On est rendu à la ronde éclair et on a commencé en force, dans le fond, avec en étant amateur ou pro. Puis déjà là, ça, il a pris un moment pour répondre. Il est allé avec un professionnel amateur ou un amateur professionnel. Il a joué avec les mots un peu là-dessus, Patrick. Ensuite, tu lui as demandé, est-ce que tu préfères être un joueur, un coach ou un ball rep? Et Patrick, ça a pris du temps à répondre, mais sa réponse est intéressante.
Ouais, exactement. Ce qu'il nous a dit, dans le fond, c'est que oui, il peut transmettre ses connaissances, il peut aider un joueur, mais il n'y a rien. Puis on est tous des skieurs. Il n'y a rien comme avoir le feeling là, de faut que je le fasse. Là. Puis ça, ben, ça a fait qu'il nous a donné le joueur, le coach, puis le ball rip. Ça veut dire que ball rip, c'est pas compliqué, Guillaume.
Non, c'est facile, on va y aller, toi puis moi. Good. Now, Tim, is it easier to coach a male bowler or a female bowler?
Female. They're less combative.
Oh, really?
That's nice. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Best decade to bowl, 90, 2000, or 2010?
That's not even close. From 1990 to 2000 was incredible. It's not even close.
On va traduire aussi ces deux-là.
Ouais.
J'ai demandé si c'était plus facile de coacher un homme ou une femme. Il a dit c'est plus... Attends un petit peu, Pat, je m'en souviens plus.
Less combative. Il s'ostine moins, dans le fond. C'est pas stimulant.
Ah oui. No, I just could not remember, Tim, but Patrick helped me on this one. That's fine, you don't have to.
Okay, sorry.
We're a good team.
All good.
Guillaume and I are a good team on the other side. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
Je lui ai demandé est-ce que c'était plus facile coacher un homme ou une femme. Il a dit une femme parce que ça s'ostine moins. Et voilà. Et Patrick, tu lui as demandé laquelle meilleure décennie pour jouer. Il a dit 1990 à 2000 sans aucun doute.
Je pense qu'on pourrait poser cette question-là à tous les skieurs, on aurait la même réponse, Guillaume.
À peu près, oui. Now, Tim, would you bowl in Asia, in Europe, or North America?
I would probably go. This is because of the respect level that the sport gets. I think Asia gets more respect for bowling. And the Europeans have a great penchant for being just very classy and treating bowling a little bit higher. If I had to rank them, obviously I want to live in my own bowl in my own country. But when it comes to respect, Asia's number one. They get the most respect from our sport. And I would say bowling is starting to pick up more in areas in America is number two, and then Europe. For me, Europe is overall it has the best of both. So it's a very I can't really like Europe is respect and then dignity, and America is I'll move up, but Asia is just all about respect. So I can't pick one. I pick one A, B, C.
Perfect. Now, who is the pro in SPI family are the easiest to coach, and why?
The easiest guy coach at SPI. For me, I spend a lot of time obviously with Belmo, and we have a great relationship. So it works quite well, Jason. But Chris Prather's very 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 easy, very very easy to communicate with, and so is Westmont. Westmont is really easy to communicate with, really easy.
À la question s'il préfère jouer en Asie, en Europe ou en Amérique du Nord, ça a été extrêmement difficile à répondre comme question, sauf qu'il est quand même beaucoup revenu, Patrick, sur l'Asie. Il dit que l'Asie a beaucoup de respect pour le sport d'équipe. Ça, je pense que ça le touche beaucoup. En même temps, en Europe, il y a eu beaucoup de succès aussi là-bas. Puis maintenant, on sait qu'est-ce qu'il fait en Amérique du Nord, aux États-Unis. Très, très dur à dire. Il dit, je vais répondre ABC. Et pour ce qui est de quel coach est quel athlète de la famille Storm est le plus facile à coacher, le plus facile à parler, il a dit, c'est sûr, j'ai une bonne relation avec Belmo, mais quand même, parler avec Chris Prater, c'est vraiment le fun, ça se fait super bien, c'est smooth. Now, you said about the best to coach in the SPI family. Who is the worst to coach?
And who wants some names?
Who's the hardest? You mean the hardest?
It's difficult.
Not the worst, but the hardest, yeah.
I mean, listen, every player has their moments. There's no doubt about it. Players have their moments. I think Frankie is very hard on himself.
Who?
Frankie.
Okay.
Frankie, okay.
So Frank's very hard on himself. And sometimes, but he's been much better as he's gotten older. But I wouldn't say he's hard to coach. I don't, to be honest with you, I don't find anybody hard to coach. I think another guy that, guys that have high bowling IQ that can be difficult. Like Stuart Williams has a very high bowling IQ. So he's set in his ways. So he wants to do this or this. But I feel like I have a really good relationship with just about everybody on our staff now. And if the guys give me a hard time, I say, see ya. I'll talk to somebody that wants to talk to me. It's very easy.
That's cool.
On va traduire celle-là, Pat, avant de continuer. La réponse est bonne.
Ouais. Guillaume m'a demandé, y a-tu un des... On a parlé du joueur le plus facile à coacher, puis là, maintenant, est-ce qu'il y en a un difficile? Puis il nous dit, non, pas vraiment. That was a politician answer. He was good. He was good. Il nous a dit...
listen, I got to work World Series bowling. I got I'm not going to throw my bowlers under the bus.
Yeah, for sure. Il nous a dit, non, il dit, tu sais, c'est sûr qu'il y a des joueurs qui sont comme plus compliqués à coacher, pas difficiles, mais plus compliqués parce qu'ils sont trop connaissants. Puis il nous a donné Stu Williams qui connaît beaucoup. Je vais faire ça, puis peut-être ça pour X, Y raison. Puis ça fait que c'est des joueurs qui sont compliqués. Puis il disait, au final, s'il y en a un qui a le goût de, excusez le terme, de me donner de la merde, je vais juste comme aller jaser avec quelqu'un qui est plus sympathique. Hein?
Exactement. Maybe, three more. Lumberjacks 2019, Lumberjacks 2020.
Who wins?
Which team do you prefer?
They're both champions for different reasons. You know, they're both for me personally, you know, equally in my heart. You know, winning the first one was extremely difficult, but winning the second one in a different bowling center outside of Portland was really hard to do. So I would take the 19 over the 20. No, it's that's those Lumberjacks are, you know, forever they're champions. We're 2019 champions with Fabio, the Italian train and Brian Simonelli, you know, the franchise in West Milan, Fro Nation with, you know, Afrofish, Kyle Troop, and then the Shark, Chris Prather. We're forever champions. And then the 2020 team, I look like I'm about 5'3" because Pat Van is about 6'5", Martin Lawson is about 6'4", Wes is 6'6", Kyle with his afro is about 6'2", and Prather's a little taller than me.
That's the clue. You're right. Guillaume, je vais juste poser l'autre question, puis on traduira les deux en même temps.
Oui, vas-y.
Tim, what's the most stressful situation? Have a strike to win a big tournament or watching your daughter, Lana, bowling?
My daughter doesn't love to bowl.
Well,
My
maybe
daughter's really
maybe
good.
playing soccer or
my-
something like that.
My daughter is really good at soccer, and nothing even comes close. Sitting on the sidelines watching her, like when she had a penalty kick, and she missed her first penalty kick, and then had another chance the following year, and then with a blaster up in the left. There's it's not even close. Like strike down here, and then my daughter's up here. It's not even close. Way more. I love it. I just watch her with the passion she plays with, and I see me and her sometimes, and man, it's just there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Nothing.
Cool.
La dernière question, Patrick, que tu as posée, c'est à savoir qu'est-ce qui est le plus stressant pour lui. Est-ce que c'est de lancer un abat pour gagner un championnat ou si c'est de regarder sa fille performer? On pensait sur les allées de quilles, mais finalement, c'est plus sur un terrain de soccer. Il dit, il n'y a rien de comparable à regarder ma fille sur un terrain de soccer. Ma fille est là, puis le bowling, faire un abat, c'est ici. Je pense que c'est juste le fait qu'il n'y a pas le contrôle sur la partie de soccer, mais il y a un contrôle sur le lancer qu'il peut faire.
Ouais.
Et pour ce qui est de l'équipe des Lumberjacks 2019 ou 2020, pour lui, mon Dieu Seigneur, il y a comme c'est extrêmement dur à choisir parce que sur les deux équipes, il a gagné. C'était dur de gagner avec une équipe pour commencer, puis de revenir gagner dans un autre building avec un peu d'autres joueurs, avec pas de spectateurs. Ça a été extrêmement dur. Fait que c'est dur pour lui de choisir une des deux équipes. Moi, je pense, Patrick, qu'il irait à la guerre avec tout le monde. Puis il serait un gagnant quand même.
Ouais, exactement.
And one last question from ourselves. Then there is one question in the chat for you.
Only one? That's
yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, but you won't be disappointed with the person asking the question, though. All right.
Okay.
So just for us, our last lightning question is: if you start over today, okay, you are 20-something years old, you start from the scratch, would you relive everything as it was during your career, or would you change a chapter?
That's a tough question because my career got cut short with injuries, and I lost a lot of great years bowling. Where I've been on the sidelines basically for the last, a shell of myself since 2009, 2010. For more than 12 years. I lost solid 12, 13 years since my surgeries, 2005. But I've always looked at it as learn from the past and keep moving forward. When I look at my career, and I'm in the SBC Hall of Fame. I've won a number of different countries around the world. I have friends and relationships that you can't put a price on. And I traveled to places 99.9% of the world will never be. That's not something you want to change. It's something that you want to keep with you and realize, hey, I'm a lucky man, and it's been an unbelievable ride to this point. What happens after this? I don't know. But I don't think I go back and change.
Good. Sounds good. Notre dernière question, Patrick, c'était de savoir si on recommençait tout demain matin. Est-ce qu'on revit la même vie qu'on a vécue ou on change un chapitre? Il garde quand même un petit goût amer, je pense, des blessures qu'il a eues, de la façon que sa carrière s'est terminée. C'est peut-être qu'il changerait ça, mais en même temps, il dit, ça fait partie du passé, ça fait partie de mon histoire, c'est là, ça fait la personne que je suis aujourd'hui. J'ai visité le monde entier, ça, je changerais jamais rien. Donc, en bout de ligne, il pense qu'il garderait...
C'est comme ça.
Exactement.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's right. Now, one question from the great Frank Buffa, because he is watching. Football or football or bowling? I like when you do the.
It looks like store.
I'll tell you what. As I get older, and my body feels it, I'm like, man, I should have been bowling the whole time. But without football, I'm not the bowler I was then.
You was,
the person I am today. So without football, I don't become who I am today. But without bowling, I'm not where I am today.
Yeah, that's right. And Guillaume, just for fun, we could just another one, just from my mind at the moment. What's the toughest thing, being coached by Frank Buffa or by Joe Paterno?
Yeah. Joe Paterno is way tougher than Frank Buffa.
That's cool.
And Buffa's a total coach and a brilliant man and a wonderful man, very smart, and was an unbelievable bowler back in his day.
Yep.
And we have one more from the son, Mark Buffa. He's asking the top 5 international non-PBA titleists, or guys that you, or guys that we have never seen on TV, maybe, and had a lot of impact on the sport.
Yeah, I can name a couple off the top of my head right now. There's a kid in Korea. His name is Park Jang-woo. Sorry. Incredible talent. One of the best I've ever seen. Tori Torgerson, who I bowled with for years out of Norway. One of the greatest talents I've ever had the pleasure of bowling with. Also, first time he came here, bowled senior U.S. Open. He won the U.S. Open, the PBA senior U.S. Open. And he only bowled on tour for a very little time. Lasse Littila from Finland, a talent. I won my roll twice, 3 times maybe. I don't know. It's just I've never seen anything like it. Just he had nerves of steel. Thomas Lee Anderson, classic style of one of the greats in Sweden that just could flat out play the game. Pasi Uotila, also from Finland, just a special talent. Had a penchant for being an unbelievable superstar. And when I go look at the Middle East, I think there's a kid there that, he's 34 years old. I had the pleasure of coaching him, but he had the mental makeup upstairs, and he had a physical gift. He just had a heart, determination of, that I haven't seen in a long time. And that kid's name was Yusuf Falab. Everybody called him Joe. A real tall, skinny kid. Was special talent. He was something else. Something else. And then there's a ton of bowlers in Asia. I mean, 5 is hard list to make. I mean, there's so many bowlers in Asia that were so great. So many great Korean bowlers. Jung Tae-hwa, if he would have came over. Remy Ong in his heyday. Remy Ong, the great lefty from Singapore, when he was young and strong and bowling great. And Paying Nepomuceno when he was young and great.
You cleansed the 10 now, so you're good. Mark asked for 5, and you are at 10. And
I thought it was 10. I thought he said 10.
And if we're not stopping you, you're probably going. It was to 5. 50. Yep. You're probably going to 15 or 20 and talking about the Australia and Germany, and you're talking from everywhere. That's really nice because you travel a lot. You travel a lot.
Check out how great the bowlers are.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You travel a lot, and you got a lot of respect from bowlers from everywhere. That's really nice.
Yeah, could be unbelievable. I mean, there's so many guys, and that was my point earlier, Patrick, when you guys asked me the question of, all these guys, the best in the world, that still haven't, all of them haven't gotten under the same roof. someday we will, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah, for sure. Guillaume, on va essayer de traduire quelque chose puis de faire quelque chose de simple parce que là, on l'a échappé un peu parce que Marc nous a posé, Marc a posé une question puis il demandait, puis Guillaume, j'aurais besoin de ton aide parce que la moitié des noms, je ne connaissais pas. Puis Marc m'a mis des noms, mais je ne suis pas capable de m'en rappeler. Il voulait savoir les 5 joueurs non membres de la PBA qui avaient ou jamais gagné de tournoi qui auraient pu être des game changers en bon français. Puis Tim nous en a nommé 10-12 là, comme ça. Puis c'était assez impressionnant de l'écouter. T'as-tu des souvenirs, des notes, quelque chose dans ta tête qui. Ben, j'ai pas de nom. Honnêtement, je m'excuse pour les gens qui nous écoutent encore. Mais
il a parlé de Rémi Hong de Singapour. Il a dit qu'il y a beaucoup d'Asiatiques aussi qui sont extrêmement forts. On pense ensuite de ça en Finlande, il a nommé Thomas Lee Anderson. Ensuite, de la Norvège, Thor Torgersen. Il y en a un autre qui s'appelle Passi. Qui vient aussi des pays nordiques en haut.
La Finlande.
Ouais, de la Finlande, exactement. Fait que, tu sais, avec tous les joueurs qu'il a vus, avec tous les joueurs qu'il a croisés sur les allées, c'est sûr qu'il pourrait continuer jusqu'à demain matin à nous en nommer. Et tout ce qu'il espère, dans le fond, c'est qu'un jour, ces joueurs-là peuvent jouer tous sous le même toit. Et puis, on espère que ce jour viendra, Patrick. So, Tim, that was have we tortured you a little bit? Not a lot, just enough.
I think I tortured Patrick with my answers because they're too long. So I'm waiting for the next show.
Oh, all right, no problem. We'll get more questions and we'll have some more fun.
That's perfect.
That sounds good to us.
I'll have to go on again, guys.
Tim, that was a real pleasure to talk with you. Hopefully, we could cross somewhere in a couple months. Guillaume and I have a lot of many ideas that we could travel everywhere to do what we love, talking about bowling. And for sure, if we could, we're gonna exchange one more time. Thanks for your time. Thanks for having us a safe trip to pick up your daughter. That was a real nice truck ride. That's really cool. Guillaume, je te laisse compléter.
Yeah, Tim. I mean, thank you so much. Thank you so much for saying yes to our invitation. I knew I had good chance by asking you, to come and discuss with us. It was a blast. I mean, with you, time flies. There is so much to say. There is so much to ask. And it was a real pleasure. And I just can't wait to see you again, shake your hand. Big hug also. And we wish you the best of success for the Tournament of Champions. Safe trip. And, keep doing what you do. I mean, you give so much for the sports. First, the sport has given you so much, and now you give back. So thank you so much for everything that you do on and off the lanes. I mean, without Tim Mack, the world would be different.
Listen, guys, a big thank you to you both. I salute you and G2B in this great show you guys have created. It's amazing what you're doing for bowling and bowlers, not only in Quebec City, but all over Canada and anybody else that gets the opportunity in the future to tune into this. I'm extremely grateful and keep supporting bowling, guys. You stay safe and stay healthy during this very difficult time in our world. But bowling will survive. It's resilient and will survive, and we're going to be back bigger and stronger and better. My regards to everybody at Boofa Bowling, everybody across Canada. I hope the next time they have the Montreal Open, I can come up there and spend some time with you guys. It would be wonderful. And with that, guys, thanks for the well wishes. And don't forget, bowl up a storm.
That's right.
Thank you, Tim.
Tout le monde, on se donne un rendez-vous la semaine prochaine, Patrick. On a un autre invité de marque. Cette fois-ci, on va revenir au Canada. On ne vous nomme pas le nom tout de suite, mais ça va être le fun va être le
En
fun, pas à
bébé.
peu près aussi.
Yeah, c'est clair. Merci tout le monde d'être là encore une fois. Suivez G2B partout dans nos aventures. Guillaume et moi, on va essayer de continuer de nous amuser. Donc, ce n'est que partie remise. Ciao!
Over.